it's me again with the first of, properly South America. And yeah, here we go, as starting off with Colombia. As for thousands of years before Europe arrived in what is now America, the Amerindians lived in what is now Colombia. As some lived by fishing and some by hunting, but they also lived by farming. And the first Spaniard who landed there wasn't Christopher Columbus, but was Alonso de Ojeda in 1500. However, there was no permanent Spanish settlement until 33 years later, in 1533, when Cartagena and Santa Marta was founded, as Bogota was founded 5 years later in 1538. As in 1564, Colombia was made a captaincy general as the colony thrived, but many African slaves were taken there. However, in 1808, Napoleon made his brother the King of Spain, but many people in Spanish colonies refused to accept the new king. And in 1810, most of Colombia declared their independence, but it did not last long as the Spanish reconquered them. Yeah, in 1815 to 1816, and in 1819 Simon Bolivar defeated the Spanish at the Battle of Boyacá, and subsequently a new nation was formed consisting of Colombia, Panama, Venezuela and Ecuador. As a new nation was called the Republic of Colombia, but regional differences caused the new country to kind of split apart, kind of thing. As Bolivia became a dictator in 1828, but we resigned 2 years later in 1830, as Colombia and Panama kind of stayed together while Ecuador and Venezuela broke off to become their own country. But Colombia was troubled, to say the least, with 8 civil wars taking place during the 19th century, which is really unfortunate. And by 1849 there were 2 political parties: the Conservatives, that represented the landowners and Catholic Church. Then there was the Liberals, representing kind of like the merchants and craftsmen. As political instability continued throughout the 19th century, and in 1899 a civil war called the War of 1,000 Days was fought, and by the end of it, in 1903, Panama broke away and became an independent nation. Throughout the 20th century, Colombia was generally a peaceful and economic country, and exports of coffee were increasing. But in 1948, another civil war broke out, and it was called La Violencia, as Colombia has the divide between liberals and conservatives. But the assassination of liberal politician Jorge Gaitan on the 9th of April 1948 was a spark that lit the fire. But as the army was in the side of the conservatives, and in 1953 General Gustavo Rojas Pinilla became dictator. But in 1957 he stepped down, and the 2 parties, Liberals and Conservatives, agreed to share power. As between 57 and 74, the presidency alternated between both of them. But starting in the 60s, guerrillas became more prominent in Colombia. And in the 70s, the production of cocaine in Colombia really increased. And so much, during the 70s and 80s. As the drug trade left a great deal of violence, but it didn't help that in the 80s Colombia was hit by a severe recession. But And yet in the 21st century, the situation in Colombia did kind of improve, as violence in Colombia declined after 2002, as the economy grew rapidly and poverty and unemployment declined. And like the rest of the world, they suffered a recession in 2009. But the economy did since recover from that, as Colombia also suffered severe floods in 2010. However, tourism in Colombia is growing, as this is steadily developing, and the population stands at around 47 million. Then there's the myth of La Tunda, that comes from the Pacific region of Colombia and is specifically prevalent in the regions of Afro-Colombian communities, and said to be an ugly, monstrous woman living in the depths of a jungle, as La Tunda has the ability to take on the form of someone you know or love before it can kind of hypnotise you and suck your blood like a vampire. As La Tunda also bears many similarities to the current South American mythical creature known as Patasola. And yeah, that is Colombia for you, and yeah, I'll see you shortly.